What's up, everyone? So Sydney Sweeney is everywhere right now, right? Euphoria, The White Lotus, rom-coms, brand deals, she's literally unavoidable. But here's what most people don't know: while Hollywood was busy underestimating her, she was quietly building a business empire that's got nothing to do with luck. This is the story of how a girl from Spokane, Washington turned a PowerPoint presentation into a $40 million fortune, and why she might just be the smartest person in Hollywood.
Picture this: you're 11 years old. A zombie movie is filming in your hometown. You want to audition, but your parents think acting is a pipe dream. So what do? Cry? Beg? Throw a tantrum? Nope. Sydney created a 5-year business plan presentation to convince her parents to let her pursue acting. We're talking projections, costs, timelines, the whole corporate package. At 11 years old. And it worked. Her family moved to LA when she was 13. But that move? It cost them everything. Sydney has said her parents sacrificed so much and lost so much during the move. They went from comfortable to borderline broke. And Sydney watched it all happen because of her dream. That kind of pressure? That kind of responsibility? It doesn't just motivate you, it transforms you. And you're about to see exactly how.
So let's talk about the early years, because they were brutal. Sydney was raised in a rural lakeside home that her family has inhabited for 5 generations in the Idaho Panhandle. This wasn't some Hollywood kid with connections. Her mother Lisa was a criminal defense lawyer, and her father worked in hospitality. Normal, working-class family. She has a younger brother Trent who joined the Air Force in 2020. But here's what makes Sydney different: she was relentless. She was in every single sport possible: soccer, baseball, snow slalom, skiing, wakeboarding. She even competed in combat sports like taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, and kickboxing. This girl does not quit. And academically, she was valedictorian of her graduating class at Brighton Hall School in Burbank and was on the robotics team and in the mathematics club. So we're talking about someone who's wired differently from the start. Her early career was all about paying dues. She had small roles on Criminal Minds, 90210, Grey's Anatomy, and Pretty Little Liars. Nothing glamorous. Just grinding, learning, building relationships. She worked at Universal Studios Hollywood in 2016 but quit when she got an acting job. She even briefly attended UCLA. But the whole time, her family was struggling because they'd bet everything on her dream. The pressure was crushing.
Then 2018 hits, and things start clicking. She appeared in Sharp Objects with Amy Adams and The Handmaid's Tale with Elizabeth Moss, earning a Screen Actors Guild Award nomination. People in the industry started paying attention. But the real game changer? Double booking herself with HBO. In 2019, she landed the role of Cassie Howard in Euphoria and Olivia Mossbatcher in The White Lotus, earning Emmy nominations for both. Same year. Same network. 2 completely different characters. Let's talk about the range here. Cassie in Euphoria is vulnerable, insecure, desperate for validation, just raw, painful to watch. Then she turns around and plays Olivia in The White Lotus, who's cynical, privileged, intellectually superior. Opposite ends of the spectrum. And she crushed both. Here's the wild part though: even with all this success, Sydney was still broke. She talked openly about how she couldn't afford her mortgage even after Euphoria became a massive hit. She told The Hollywood Reporter that if she wanted to take a 6-month break, she didn't have income to cover that, and with streamers, actors no longer get residuals like they used to. She explained she had to pay 5% to her lawyer, 10% to agents, 3% to her business manager, plus her publicist every month, more than her mortgage. She literally said if she just acted, she wouldn't be able to afford her life in LA. So what did she do? She adapted. Remember that 11-year-old who made a business plan? She never left. In 2020, Sweeney founded the production company 50/50 Films. And this isn't some vanity project. She came across the script for Anyone But You, loved it, then went on the journey of putting the whole package together. She cast the film, hired the director, and sold the project to Sony. And how'd that work out? Anyone But You grossed over $220 million worldwide. Sydney earned about $2 million for Anyone But You, and as the producer, she got back-end money too. That's not just acting money, that's real money. Her movie salaries have skyrocketed. She earned $750,000 for Madam Web, $250,000 for Immaculate, and a staggering $7.5 million for The Housemaid. She went from six figures to $7.5 million in a few years. But it doesn't stop there. Sydney's brand deals are massive. She reportedly earns up to $7.5 million annually from brand deals and sponsorships. She's worked with Laneige, Armani Beauty, Miu Miu, Samsung, Ford, and even had that viral Dr. Squatch bathwater soap collaboration. Speaking of Ford, let's talk about something that makes Sydney completely unique in Hollywood. Sydney Sweeney isn't just another actress who got lucky. She's a strategist who's been planning her empire since she was 11 years old. She's a grinder who paid her dues for over a decade. She's a producer building generational wealth. She's a mechanic who can rebuild a transmission. And she's doing it all while being one of the most in-demand actors in Hollywood. While everyone was busy reducing her to just another pretty face from Euphoria, she was building something that's going to last long after the cameras stop rolling. And that is the real Sydney Sweeney story. So what do you think? Are you Team Sydney? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you learned something new about her today, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the people shaping Hollywood. Catch you in the next one.